I am fired up now. Fired up. What a wonderful crowd. I am so grateful to all of you. First of all, I want to thank Michael and Stephanie for the wonderful introduction. And the great we have just some wonderful students who are participating in this process. How many UNR students are there here? Come on. It is really exciting to see all of them involved. I am thrilled to be spending time with you guys. We're not going to do anything real formal here. I'm not going to give a real formal speech. We'll get that aside. The main thing I want to do is just look into the eyes and the faces of just the best precinct organization in Nevada. Some of you know that I started my public service career as an organizer. I now live in Chicago. I wasn't originally from Chicago, but I moved to Chicago to work with grassroots groups that were trying to help unemployed people find jobs, set up after-school programs for youth. And I learned very early that in politics and in government in America, there are two kinds of power. There's organized money, and there's organized people. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of money. And the people I was working with didn't have a lot of money. But we did have organized people. And that is the basic principle that this campaign is built on, is that we can organize people all across the country to make sure your agenda is heard in Washington. To make sure that we don't just change political parties in this election, but we also change our politics. That is what we have to get done if we're going to get. That's what we're going to have to do if we're going to solve the problems that everybody here knows about, because many of you live them. If you're a student, you know that you're having a tougher and tougher time financing your college education. And part of the reason that you're having a tougher time is because you've got banks and financial institutions who are acting as middlemen, taking billions of dollars out of the student loan program to make loans more expensive for you, even as they make profits for themselves. Now, they've got their own lobbyists in Washington. Stephanie doesn't. So, the only way that we are going to make sure that we help students finance their college education is if we organize students all across the country to say we are going to change how business is done in Washington, and we are going to make more grants and loans more cheap so that people aren't loaded up with $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 worth of debt when they leave school. They shouldn't. That's a mortgage. They shouldn't have a mortgage before they even buy a house. And so we've got to organize students. Some of you don't have health care. Or if you've got health care, you've seen your premiums go up, your co-payments go up, your deductibles go up. Now, it'd be nice if, right, on their own, Congress decided, you know what, we're going to help all those people without health care. But the problem is, if you don't have health care, you probably don't have a lobbyist. And so as a consequence, the drug companies, the insurance companies, have spent $1 billion over the last decade preventing health care reform from happening. Now, every candidate in this race has a health care plan. But none of those plans are going to be worth the paper they're printed on unless we organize people to overcome the organized money that has blocked reform so long. That's what we're